And also new today, a former funeral home owner in the Katahdin region won't be back in court until next year. 53-year-old Harold Lamson was indicted by a Penobscot County grand jury last week. He's charged with 14 counts of theft. Lamson owned Lamson Funeral Home in Lincoln, East Millinocket, and Danforth. Complaints against him pertain to issues with mortuary trusts, deficiencies with funeral services, and failure to communicate with families, among other things. Lamson was scheduled to appear in court this morning in Bangor, but his case has been pushed back until January 8th of next year. An attorney with the DA's office says they expect to file around 50 cases against Lamson and need time to process them all. In May, Lamson was arrested and charged with 2 counts of felony theft. In September, he was arrested by East Millinocket police for violating his bail conditions and assault. The Board of Funeral Services suspended Lamson's license in June after violating the terms of his consent agreement. His license has been revoked for 5 years. He can reapply for a license in 3 years, but would need approval by the board to be reinstated.